Today, I'm going to be talking about why I still collect Blu-rays in 2026. As you can see, I've got my Blu-ray collection behind me. It is bigger than that. I have a lot of stuff in my cupboard, but these here are just like my favorite movies or just some of my favorite Blu-rays. So yeah, I guess some of you guys might be wondering why you're still collecting Blu-rays in 2026. Everything's on streaming. So that's what this video is about. I'm going to talk about it. But to get to that answer, naturally, I have to go back. So let's talk about when I first got into collecting Blu-rays and how it became a hobby for me, and how I discovered so many movies because of Blu-rays. So it was 2015. I was naturally rewatching all the Star Wars movies on the run up to The Force Awakens. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start watching these films again. So naturally I did, but it was hard to find them back then because there was no Disney Plus. And I was like, why don't I just own them on Blu-ray? Like, that makes so much more sense. So yeah, that was the first time I ever collected and owned my own Blu-rays, and it felt great. And I had the Skywalker saga, like 1 to 6. And after that, it became like more of a hobby for me. You know, whenever I went out, whether it was like HMV or CEX or even charity shops, car boot sales, whatever, I would look for Blu-rays and I would just pick up movies that seemed cool. At that age, you know, I was a teenager, and for me, it wasn't really a thing of taste or, you know, knowing certain directors and things like that. It was just kind of like, oh, that looks cool. That's a sci-fi. That's this, that's that. And that's sort of how I discovered a lot of movies back in the day, and I really do appreciate that. And I think that's one of the lost arts of collecting physical media in general. You know, when you think about music back in the day, people used to discover albums all the time or artists all the time just because they went and saw a vinyl that they liked the look of. You know, they were like, oh, that artwork looks cool. Or they spoke to someone about it in the shop and they were like, oh yeah, you should, you know, I recommend it. And then they listened to it and they loved it. Same thing with movies, you know, whether you go back to VHS or DVDs, like when Blockbuster was a thing, you know, that was very much like a communal experience where you would go and just pick up movies and possibly watch it. And that's exactly what I did with Blu-rays, like to start off with. I must admit, as my taste sort of shaped as I've became like an adult, and you know, I know what I like now, my Blu-ray collection has narrowed down. Yeah, it started off more of like a hobbyist thing. I would just pick it up, watch a bunch of movies, and have like shit tons of Blu-rays, and I didn't know what to do with them. As I got older, it became a thing of realizing that Blu-rays are super important because, well, physical media in general, because, you know, a lot of things are on streaming services, right? But you don't know if they're going to be there forever. I know people who have even bought things on streaming services, like, you know, not rented it, like actually bought a film on there, and then the film, just something happened with the rights of the film or the distributor or something, and they lost that film. And it's like, the fact that I know that the films I love and adore and like love to rewatch, I have them. I don't have to rely on them being on Disney Plus or Netflix or HBO or Hulu, or, you know, I could sit here for an hour saying streaming services at this point. But, you know, it's not even the fact that I don't have to pay for them, because I did pay for these once, but now I have them for the rest of my life. And something about that to me is really cool and special. Okay, so now we'll get into the nerdy stuff. Another reason I love collecting Blu-rays is because you get to physically interact with it. And I know this might sound so silly to some people, but for me personally, that is such a huge thing. And I don't just mean when you're in the shop. When you're in the store and you pick it up and you look at it and, you know, you read the credits of it or the description and you look at the photos and stuff, that's brilliant. We love that. Like, that is part of the experience that we all like. But there's another element to it as well. Like, you know, in the past, whether it's past girlfriends I've had or friends that have came over, like, they like to look at them. They're like, oh, this is cool. And they pick out the Blu-rays and have a look. And, you know, it's just so cool to have physical things. Like, I would never want to live in a world where, like, someone comes around your house and they're just like a minimalistic void, and you're like, oh, let me show you everything on my TV. Like, that's you know, there's a time and place for that. But there's something about, you know, people come around, I've got all my books up there, I've got my Blu-rays here, like even this, like my posters and movie tickets and stuff. Like, I'm a very nostalgic person, and I like to have physical things to remember things and look at things and reminisce. And that's just another reason I love my Blu-rays. Like, you know, I still remember when I got that Stranger Things VHS Blu-ray. I remember when I got the Marriage Story Criterion set. I remember where I was and like how it felt to open it. And that's another thing. Some of these Blu-rays have really cool things inside of them, like whether it be postcards or posters or just information about the movie that you wouldn't get online. Okay, so now it's time for the extra nerdy thing. So as a filmmaker, the special features have always been such an important thing to me, and on these streaming services you just simply can't get them 90% of the time. Like, it's very rare that a streaming service has like the features that you get, the special features you get on a DVD or a Blu-ray. Like, you just don't get them. They have extras, but it's usually like the trailer or a quick interview of the cast and crew. Like, the features you get on Blu-rays have like fully changed the trajectory of my life, some of them. Like, I'll give you an example of one. There's a movie called Monsters that Gareth Edwards did that I really like, and that was his first feature film. And there's pretty much a whole documentary, like as long as the movie, about him traveling around South America with this tiny crew, like guerrilla style filmmaking, making this movie. And that is one of the biggest inspirations to me. I'm making a movie this summer where I'm traveling abroad and doing the same thing. And if I'd never seen that on that special feature, maybe I wouldn't know that was possible. Maybe it wouldn't have inspired me. So that's another element. If you're just like super nerdy about the technical stuff of filmmaking, like, you know, these documentaries or special features that they have are amazing because they go into every different like medium of filmmaking, or all these different fields of filmmaking. If you're interested in sound design, there'll probably be a feature about that. If you're interested in directing, there'll be one with the director talking about that. There'll be ones with the cast if you're an actor and you want to get into acting. Like, it's so important, it's so cool, it's so important. And I think more people should collect physical media in general. Like, let's branch off just from film now. Let's talk about games and stuff like that. And by the way, I know there's a bit of hypocrisy here because in my last video, you could clearly see I had the digital version of the PS5, and that was pretty much just because it was cheaper and it's what I could afford at the time. But I do regret it. Like, my friend Nathan's got the disc version, and he, you know, has a collection of his PS5 games, and if he doesn't like a game, he can trade it in and get another one. And that's a whole other aspect of physical media that's super cool. But yeah, I think, you know, if anything can come from this video, hopefully it just inspires people to collect more and be proud of owning physical media. Support the artists who make the films that you love, or the music that you love, or the games that you love. And yeah, it's just a way to give back to them. It's a way to have cool things in your house and have access to these movies at any time. You know, you don't have to rely on streaming services. So yeah, that is why I collect Blu-rays in 2026. If you agree or disagree, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to have a conversation about it. And if you do agree and you do love, you know, collecting, tell me why you love it. Maybe there's different reasons what I didn't get into, but yeah, I would really like to hear that. So thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed. And yeah, if you want to see more stuff like this where it's just me sat down yapping, then hit the subscribe button, because I'm going to be doing plenty more videos this year. I'm actually planning on getting a CRTV here on a stand and getting some retro games consoles, because I also have a bunch of like VHSs. I'll show you a few of them now. There's two of them. There's Alien and Indiana Jones, but I've got like a bunch of them. I've got like 20 to 30 VHSs. I could do a video about that, but yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna make a bunch more videos, but anyway, I'm gonna stop yapping now. Thank you very much for watching this video, and yeah, see you in the next one.